Hello world, I'm back and I'm coming to you live from my kitchen where I am surrounded by my plants once again. I'm here to make another Wentworth video. You already know I want to do like the episode season 8 reviews, like season 8, all the episodes one by one. Just review the episode, talk about the episode, show y'all little pictures and shit. If you have yet to watch Wentworth season 8, don't watch this video. For the love of Christ, don't do it because I'm gonna spoil everything. Season 8, episode 1 review. Here we go. When I was alerted by Netflix that the season was out, when I tell you the excitement that I felt was just something else. So I was sitting over there getting ready for work, right? And I said, I must put on episode 1. So all I saw before going to work was the opening scene where we meet Lou and Reb. You know what I'm saying? And when I tell you, I knew it was going to be good. How cute does Reb look in this photo, first of all? Very reminiscent of a young Jordan Knight from the New Kids on the Block. We see these two people in the jewelry store looking all happy and in love and shit. Lou Kelly's character requests to try on a ring. So she's like, see that ring right there? I want to try that ring on. And he tells her, the shop owner does, he tells her, that shit is mad expensive. And she's like, and she says, well, I just want to try it on. So he basically is giving her the runaround, and she senses, Lou does, she senses that some shit is off. You know what I'm saying? There is tension in the air. And what happens? She pulls out her gun. She had no choice. She knew something was going on. So she pulls out her weapon and, informs these people, give me the goods quietly and nobody gets hurt. She looks at the guy and she goes, you should have just shown me the damn ring. And this is the face that I saw. And this was the moment that I fell in love. I was like, hold up, who is this? I had seen the promo photos of Kate Box and Zoe Tarakis. I didn't think anything of it. You know what I'm saying? Until I saw them in character. And then I was like, yo, who is this? Like, I immediately fell in love with Lou Kelly. So they steal the goods, you know what I'm saying? And then they make a run for it. High-speed chase ensues, okay? To the streets of Australia. And next thing you know, a fucking car crash, okay? A taxi, I believe it was, hits them. And that's it, you know what I'm saying? Poor Reb Keane is shaking up, broken ribs. Lou knows what time it is because she's been through this before. And so he's telling her, just be out. He's like, yo, just be out. You know what I'm saying? I can't get out of the car. My ribs are broken. Just save yourself. So she looks at her precious baby love and tells him, no bloody way. I'm not leaving you. And that's it. But when she grabs his hand and kisses his hand, right? And yo, when I tell you, the look in her eyes, when she was looking at him and she kisses his hand, I was like, yo, that is when I knew how deep Lou's love for Reb ran, okay? And I was like, and I knew going forward that anybody that even looks at Reb the wrong way is going to get their throat ripped out. You know what I'm saying? So now after that scene, we get the new opening credits, which I have to say I'm not fond of, but whatever. So now we're in Wentworth, and Will Jackson is here with, the other officers, and he's basically briefing them on Lou Kelly and Reb Keane. A lot of the officers haven't been there before, so he's warning them about Lou Kelly. He's like, the bitch is volatile as fuck and she don't play no games, so watch yourselves. We're back with Lou Kelly and Reb as they make their way to Wentworth Correctional Center on a bus. Behind them is a woman who is just a pain in the ass and is fucking with Reb the entire time. Lou's trying to keep her cool. At the same time, there's a fucking fly that's irritating her. And so she's trying to keep her cool when she's telling Reb, just be easy, babe. This place is like a walk in the park. And I was like, what park? But she's basically telling her, and as long as you stick with me, you're going to be fine and nobody going to fuck with you. And what happens? This bitch in the back don't know how to shut the fuck up and she keeps jugándola. And, you can't, there's only so much you can fuck with a person before they snap. And that is exactly what happens. So I love this next part that happens. Lou's like, nobody move. And she's looking at the fly. Next thing you know, she grabs the woman that was talking shit in the back seat and proceeds to beat the shit out of the woman, right? But also killing the fly. So she kills the fly by beating the shit out of the woman on top of the fly. Oh my God, so sexy. So the fly's dead. The woman's got the fucking living crap beat out of her. And the screws are now dragging my precious baby love out of the bus. So she's like, oh, get the fuck off of me, blah, blah, blah. You can't separate us. Will, don't do it. Reb needs me. You know what I'm saying? And he tells her, you should have thought of that before you beat the shit out this bitch, right? And then she said something that got me very excited. She was like, she should be fucking thanking me. She looks way better. So she yells this out as she's being dragged back into Wentworth Correctional Center. And Will Jackson tells her, it looks like nothing's changed, huh, Kelly? So now we see her inside Wentworth Correctional Center, like talking shit, being fussy. She sees Boomer. They lock eyes in the corridor, but the eyes that Luke Kelly gives Boomer, it's like, bitch, it's on. Like, you're still here? I'ma fuck you up type shit. Like, whatever past beef we had, oh, it's rekindled. But the look that she gives her, oh my God, she's so sexy. And Boomer just is like, oh shit, not Luke Kelly. Meanwhile, back at the yard, we've got Allie, who's now top dog, looking bad ass, all right? She's never looked better. And she's with all the people, all her girls, or all the women that are like her crew now. When Boomer comes running along to tell her, fingers Kelly, she was top dog back in the day, before B, before Jax. You know what I'm saying? The bitch don't play. She's gonna cut your fucking fingers off. Watch your backs, because fucking Luke Kelly is back. Whatever, yeah. And they're basically just like brushing her off. Allie's like, whatever, we're gonna have a problem, you know what I'm saying? And Boomer's just like, you motherfuckers are not ready. You know, after that scene, we go back inside the halls of Wentworth, where Will Jackson and Anne Reynolds are talking. They're walking and they're talking, and in the background you can see inmates with spit bags on them, and she's telling him how, you know, things are going to change around here, and there ain't going to be no more hoodies, you know what I'm saying, because we all saw what happened with the hoodies during the siege. Basically, we get to know a little bit about Anne Reynolds and the fact that she is just a miserable bitch, okay? So now we have the next scene, which is Reb Keane and Linda Miles in intake, you know what I'm saying? And they're telling Reb, take off your clothes because it's time for a strip search. And he's like, nah, I'm not doing it. Where's Lou? I want to see Lou. And so they're just like, take your damn clothes off. A la mala o a la buena, pero te vas a quitar las ropas, right? So that means, you know, take off your fucking clothes and stop playing games. He just, you know, mans up and does the strip search. And it was a sad moment, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, in that moment, it shows you how he has struggled, you know what I'm saying, with his body, with his identity, who he is, you know what I'm saying? People maybe taking advantage of him, all types of shit. You get that, all of it. You get it all through that one little scene. So, meanwhile, back in isolation, we have Mari Winter, who has been in isolation since the siege. You know what I'm saying? So she's in there basically losing her fucking mind. And we see Will Jackson and Dr. Miller. And Dr. Miller is telling Will Jackson, you can't keep her in isolation forever. You know what I'm saying? And so Will is like, listen, I don't give a fuck what you do with her as long as I don't have to deal with the bitch. So that's that. While they're talking, you know, Will gets a thing on the fucking intercom, whatever the fuck you call that thing. And they're telling him, Novak wants to speak with you. So here we go. Allie Novak, Will Jackson walking down the halls, and she's basically telling him, listen, I gotta talk to Luke Kelly before she acts up or whatever. I gotta assert my authority and let her know who the fuck is in charge. And Will is like, are you certain? You know, because you don't know Luke Kelly, and she is a force to be reckoned with. Like, are you sure? And she's like, don't worry, I intend on keeping all my fingers. And I'm just looking at this bitch like, bitch, you don't even know what you are in for. So what happens? Addie goes in to the cell, and Luke Kelly's like, oi, que lo que? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is this? Why is she here? Luke Kelly looks at Allie up and down like, bitch, what? And Allie is like, on this side of the bars, I'm in charge. And Luke Kelly's just like, So Allie basically gives her the fucking damn speech. On this side of the bars, I'm in charge, and I don't tolerate violence against the women. So watch yourself. And Luke Kelly is just like, turns around, puts her arm up against the wall, and starts to cry. I knew she started to cry I knew it. You know what I'm saying? Me, but Allie over here thinking that she's laughing at him. Like she's some type of a joke. So she grabs my precious baby love, like, how dare you? You know what I'm saying? She grabs her and twirls her around, and Luke Kelly is like, give me a fucking minute, bitch. What the fuck is wrong with you? So that's what's happening there. And she just, she collapses on the bed and she needs a moment. She just needed a fucking moment. Meanwhile, back in Free World, we have a scene with Anne Reynolds and Vera. They're having, like, coffee or whatever. Anne's being a bitch. She's trying to convince Vera to come back to Wentworth Correctional Center as governor. Vera wants nothing to do with that position. She wants to stay home and be a mother to baby Grace. And Anne is just being insistent on, the women need you. I need you. You know what I'm saying? And Vera's just like, no thanks. So that's that. They leave. Vera's walking off into her vehicle. And we see baby Grace smiling, happy as ever. But what's going on in the background? Someone is following them, taking photographs of them. And we basically know at this point it has to be the freak. Because we know the bitch is alive. Back in Wentworth, Luto is like, telling Allie now her woes. You know what I'm saying? She's like, this is my fucking fault. I'm the reason why Reb is here, and he doesn't deserve any of this shit. He's not going to be able to cope by himself. He needs my help. So tell me what the fuck you want me to do, because I'll do anything for him. And Allie's like, I'll talk to Mr. Jackson, and I'll see what I can do. And Lou tells her, okay, thank you. She looks so good sitting on this bed. You know what I'm saying? With her legs like that and her arms like this. I'm just like, oh my God. I just want to sit right in between her legs so she can play with my hair. We basically see a shot of Rita. Not Rita. What is your name? Ruby. Ruby Mitchell. She's in her cell and she's missing her sister Rita. You know what I'm saying? And then right after that scene, we see Rita, where she is. She's in fucking witness protection. So she's there missing, Ruby in witness protection. And so that's that for the sisters. And then now we see Joan for the first time. She's in some type of an office. You know what I'm saying? I'm assuming it's some type of like government aid office or whatever. So she's in there and they call out her name. But they don't say Joan Ferguson. They call her by her alias, which is Kath Maxwell. Okay? And then what happens? There's some dude and he recognizes the name. And he's just like, hold the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? So we as viewers know moving forward, he's onto you, Joan, and something's not right, and you need to watch yourself. After that scene, we see Joan at an ATM. In Australia, do they call ATMs, I wonder? I'm going to find out, and I'll let you know. So, she's at the ATM, withdrawing cash money, when all of a sudden, she turns around, and there's this man. And who is it? It's the same man from the fucking welfare office, or the government assistance office, whatever kind of office that was, all right? So he introduces, what's up, my name is Joe. And she's like, hey, you know what I'm saying? And he tells her, you look just like my homegirl, Kat Maxwell, who has gone missing and I haven't seen the bitch in forever, but you look just like her and you got her same name. So Joan Ferguson is like, yeah, well, it is what it is. I've got somewhere to be. Nice to meet you, Joe. And she walks off. She walks off knowing he's got eyes on her. Meanwhile, back in Wentworth, Mari's moved into protection, where she sees Reb for the first time. She looks at Reb, she sees a man, so she's gonna, be like, oh my God, it's the second coming of my son. She sees him for the man that he is, and she wants the chance to, like, do better. You know what I'm saying? Even if it is with a stranger who's not really her son. So Harry sees Reb in protection. Reb looks afraid or whatever. Scared. He's crying, poor thing. And then he gets a flashback. Another flashback. In this flashback, it's a flashback of when he first met Lou. Oh my God. Lou is so beautiful. She's so fucking dreamy. He has this flashback of when he first met Lou. Basically, Lou comes into his room and tells him, we're in a good place, yada yada. And she smiles at him and says, I'm Lou. Oh, it was just great. It was just great. Never has Wentworth seen such a fantastic character. The next scene is Will coming to let Lou Kelly know, listen, I'm going to let you out of protection, but you better fucking act right. Don't fucking act crazy. Don't come out here cutting no fingers off. Don't be acting wild. Don't be acting nuts. Do the right thing. You know what I'm saying? But you're coming the fuck out. And she's like, oh, thank you so very much. You know what I'm saying? What about Reb? And he's like, I'll think about it. If you act right, I'll think about it and I'll let him out of the fucking protection unit. But for now, he stays in protection until I know that I could trust you. And she's like, fuck. But then she's like, all right, fine. Thank you. Back in the yard, all the women are congregated on the bench or whatever. And once again, Boomer's trying to reiterate the fact that Luke Kelly is no joke. And y'all motherfuckers need to watch your backs. You know what I'm saying? No one is taking what she is saying seriously. Especially not Allie. She's being so damn naive, you know what I'm saying, and blind to what's right in front of her. Like, yeah, we get it, you're top dog, but you're not, the end or be all, bitch. Like, there's always going to be another woman ready to fuck you up so that she could be top dog. Boomer's warning them and nobody's taking it for what it is. So, meanwhile, back in protection, Reb is in his cell and he's hearing Critter beat the shit out of another inmate, accusing this inmate of having stolen her shit. What that shit is, who the fuck knows? I'm assuming it's drugs of some sort. So that inmate is taking away a bloody mess, you know what I'm saying? And then Reb proceeds to puke in the toilet bowl. And then Mari comes in, talking about, are you okay? And Mari is basically schooling Reb at this point, like, lagging. That shit don't rock. You don't do that in prison. You don't fucking snitch, all right? And just mind your business and keep your nose down. From that scene, we go into the cafeteria. Lou is now entering the cafeteria. She looks a little apprehensive upon entering, but then she's like, you know what, fuck this shit, this is my house. Allie sees her and is like, yo, what's up, you know what I'm saying, blah, blah, blah. Lou thanks her for her help in getting her out of the slot. Allie invites Lou to sit with her at her table with the cool kids. And so Lou sits down, introduces herself to the masses, you know what I'm saying, which was mainly just Ruby, who she didn't know. She knew everyone else. Boomer, she says, fuck Boomer, it's been a while, right? Boomer looks scared to death in this scene. I felt so bad. I've never really seen Boomer look afraid, you know what I'm saying? So it was just, I didn't like it. Because I love Boomer so much, you know what I'm saying? Lou tells Boomer, I just heard what you did to Liz. And I'm like, oh, fuck, here we go. Here we go. So, Lou basically tells her, I heard you killed Liz. She was like a mother to me, and to a whole bunch of us. And then she's like, what you did, that was a beautiful thing. And she used her voice, Lou Kelly's voice. Oh my stars. So, we all thinking that Lou is going to flip the fuck out, and she doesn't. She tells her, it's a beautiful thing what you did. It was, And so, Boomer relaxes a little bit, but not fully. She still don't trust this bitch. Like, Boomer knows what's up with Lou Kelly. Trust the bitch. She's been in Wentworth longer than all of y'all. You know what I'm saying? She's just trying to warn them, and people are like not taking heed to her warnings. It's upsetting. So now we go back to Mari and Reb, and they're eating their dinner in their cells, and they're talking, and Reb is basically telling Mari, everybody thinks that Lou is this fucking crazy ass lunatic, but she's not. She's just very fucking passionate. You know what I'm saying? And she'll do anything for me. Mari tells him about her son, Danny, and how he was killed, and blah, blah, blah. And that's that. So now it's daytime, right? It's now daytime in Wentworth. And Vera comes to visit. So she comes, she goes, she sees the women, you know what I'm saying? And they're all excited to see her and baby Grace. And Anne is just in the background being the bitch that she is, telling the women, back the fuck up, away from the gate. And Vera's like, bitch, it is fine. They're talking, and then again, Anne feels like she needs to assert her authority, and she calls for Linda to come and back these bitches up. Right? And then Vera tells her, bitch, it's okay. You know what? As a matter of fact, I'm going to show you how okay it is. Open the fucking gate. And Anne is like, are you sure? Vera's like, I'm sure, bitch. Open the fucking gate. So she opens the gate. Vera goes in. Everyone's happy. You know what I'm saying? And then this scene was just so touching. It was the first scene that I cried in during episode 1. And so Boomer's holding the baby. She tells him, would you like to hold baby Grace? You know what I'm saying? Boomer's holding the baby. And she's looking at the baby. And she's like, oh, look how much she's changed or whatever. And then she says, oh, I wish Lizzie could be here right now. You know what I'm saying? I guess to see the little one. And that made me cry. Because Lizzie, you know what I'm saying? We all love her. We didn't want her to go. But I'm glad that she went the way that she did. And she didn't die violently in the halls of Wentworth. And then so Vera grabs baby Grace and exits the yard. And now she continues walking and talking with Anne. And Anne basically is letting her know, I want you back, but in a different form as industries manager. The only thing is, Will is going to be fired. And Vera's like, what? She wants to fire Will and blame him for what happened in the siege. Meanwhile, what happened in the siege wasn't his fucking fault. So, meanwhile, back at Joan's hideout, Joan Ferguson's hideout, she's there, just chilling. doing her thing and we see her doing it. You know what I'm saying? No big deal. She's putting her notes for the day. Vera went here at such and such time. She's been following Vera. This is when we find out she's been following Vera and taking notes of her every move. All right? So now, after that, we get a little clip of Mari talking to her lawyer, and she's basically telling him, I'm going to testify against the Attorney General. I'm going to do whatever it takes to get my sentence reduced because I just want a shot at a normal life. You know what I'm saying? And that was that. Meanwhile, back in protection, Dr. Miller comes to tell Reb, you're out of here. Bye-bye. You're out of here. We're letting you into general. You're going to go and, be in the same unit as your precious love, Lou Kelly. And then, something was said about psychiatrists, and Reb is like, I don't fuck with no damn psychiatrist. And Dr. Miller asks him, why the fuck not? And then he has his third flashback, the third freaking flashback in episode 1 of him being strapped to it. He's got some shit on his head, some lights or whatever, and they're showing him pornographic images of naked bodies, male and female. How disturbing, okay? And Lou Kelly barges in on some shit, like, what in the fuck is going on here? And she comes and she saves Reb from this fucking crazy shit. Lou got Reb's back all the time. So after he has that flashback, he tells Dr. Miller, I'm okay, I just need to see Lou. You know what I'm saying? And I guess this is to let us viewers know how dependent Reb is on Lou Kelly. You know what I'm saying? Like, Lou Kelly came in and was just this hero for Reb. This woman who this angel, if you will. I love Lou Kelly and I love Reb Keane and I love their relationship. And I'm borderline jealous of Reb Keane because why can't I be the one? Meanwhile, back in the free world, we have Joan Ferguson buying airline tickets for herself and for baby Grace because she's planning of kidnapping the child and fleeing to wherever the fuck it is that she's planning of fleeing to. We're back in protection and we see Reb Keane packing to get the hell out of there and go into general with Lou Kelly. When Mari Winter comes in and gives him a little proposition. She's like, hey, buddy, how do you feel about killing someone? And in exchange, I'll give you the $40,000 that you need for your top surgery. Reb is like, no, I don't need to think about it. I'm not murdering anybody. Thanks, but no thanks, right? But she wanted him to kill Ruby because he was going to general and he was going to have easy access to the bitch. Terrible. So she's still on some shit. You know what I'm saying? And so this is one of my favorite moments in the whole of episode 1. The moment Lou and Reb reunite. So Reb is coming out of the elevator, coming out of the lift, you know what I'm saying, with fucking Jake Stewart. And Lou Kelly is coming up the steps, rubbing her shoulder because her shoulder hurts. She looks like she's been defeated. She's lost her fucking best friend, you know what I'm saying? She looks like she just needs a shoulder rub. So she's walking, she needs a rub. She looks like she's fucking been defeated when all of a sudden she sees him, her precious baby love, Reb Keane, down the corridor, okay? In front of the lift, holding his stuff. Reb sees Lou at the same moment that Lou sees Reb. And so Reb drops his belongings and proceeds to run into the arms of his baby love. So he runs into the arms of his lover, and they hug, and they kiss, and they just look so cute, and Jake Stewart is in the back, appalled as fuck, like, what in the fuck is going on here? Don't you guys know that there are rules in this place? He basically tells them, oi, enough is enough with this shit. You know what I'm saying? Let's go, Reb Keane. And Lou is like, keep your fucking panties on, because he's coming, all right? And she looks at him, and she's like, let's go to our room, and fuck. They walk away and we all know what's gonna happen in that room. I'm mad that we didn't get to see a sex scene, a love scene, a sex scene. I would have loved an intimate scene between Reb and Lou where we see them kissing a lot more, maybe with some tongue. We could see a boob, perhaps, a little bit of tummy. I don't know, but I would love that in season 9. I mean, I know the episodes are already recorded, but I'm just saying. Back in the yards, everyone's there just, chilling out or whatever when Lou and Reb come out. So this is Reb's first appearance in the yard and the women are going to meet him for the first time. When she introduces him to Ruby, he looks at Ruby like, oh shit, this is the bitch Mari wanted me to kill. Wow. And so they go off and play basketball. Lou is left with the others. So now Boomer starts questioning Lou Kelly. And this is the moment where Boomer fucked up. Carajo. So she starts questioning her, like, aren't you gay? You know what I'm saying? Aren't you a lesbian? Don't lesbians like titties? You know what I'm saying? What are you going to do when he comes home with a pecker? Isn't it going to gross you out? And fucking Boomer, man. So Lou is just like, okay. Well, you know what? Let me go over there and play basketball with these motherfuckers. So she goes to play the basketball. Boomer laughs it off. And that's that. And now I was left after this scene with a feeling of impending doom because I knew it was over for Boomer. Boomer was out of line. You know what I mean? Bottom line. But she don't know no better. So can you really blame her? You know what I'm saying? She was asking her these questions in innocence. She wasn't being a dick. She wasn't being an asshole. She was curious. She was genuinely curious and wanted to know. It's just, you know, her delivery wasn't the best. That's all. We're back in Joan Ferguson's hideout. And she hears a sound. You know what I'm saying? She hears a sound and she goes running, puts the gloves on, and grabs her weapon of choice, which in this episode, or this time, is a string, a piece of rope, so she could strangle whatever potential intruder was outside. Turned out to be nothing. It was just a man looking for his dog. This scene here, I didn't watch this scene. Okay, until months later. Like, I had watched the entire season over and over and over, like, easily, like, over 8-9 times, right? And, like, the obsession is real. It's constantly playing, like, the whole thing, like, just... I ended up watching it because it was, like, the only scene with Luke Kelly that I hadn't watched, and no scene with Luke Kelly could have gone unwatched, okay? And it wasn't as bad as I thought. I mean, it's bad, but it wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be. So, Boomer's in the bathroom when all of a sudden she looks into the mirror and she sees behind her, you guessed it, Luke Kelly. And Luke Kelly's like, hello, Boomer. And then Boomer turns around and Luke Kelly punches her right in her fucking face. And she falls, splat, onto the ground. And I'm just like, oh my God. I'm screaming and screeching the whole time. Like, while Boomer is going through it, I was squealing, okay? I was hurting for her. So, Luke Kelly and her minions, mullet included, decide that they're going to put a bag over poor Boomer's head. And they put a bag over her head, and while they got the bag over her head, Luke Kelly's like, bucandola, be like, oh, this must have been what poor Lizzie felt like when she was dying, when you was smothering her. You know what I'm saying? What a bitch. But what a fucking fine bitch. You know what I'm saying? She's beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Dito Boomer pees on herself. It was sad. And then she takes the bag off of her, and she tells her, if you ever talk shit about my baby love again, I'm gonna fucking kill you. And then she leaves the bathroom with her henchmen. And then Boomer's left on the ground, splayed out, crying. Not even crying. It was like a wailing. You know what I'm saying? I cried again when I watched that. When I watched it, I cried. Because how could you not? So the next scene is Boomer back in H1 and she's flipping the fuck out, letting Allie know, you ain't shit. I warned you. I fucking told you she was a lunatic and you didn't listen. And now look what happened. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so, you know, they're talking and Allie's trying to calm her down and Boomer's telling her, you know what I'm saying? Like, I close my eyes and all I see is, like, you know, Liz and her hands. And she's like, how do I get it out of my head? Ugh, so sad. I cried again. You know, it's so fucking sad when you see something and you're just like, and then like randomly that pops into your mind and you just like, get out of my head. But it's never, you know what I'm saying? Dito. Hi, Boomer. So, it was such a sad scene, man. Fucking, she deserves all the awards for her acting because, damn. So in the next scene, we see Joan in her fucking hideout spot. I don't really know what's going on here. I don't think much happened here except we see her and we see she's putting some hand sanitizer. She's got her cleaning products around her. Like nothing's changed. They're still the same. This is the next scene. Anne goes to visit Vera in her home. And it's like, bitch, what is wrong with you? You're becoming intrusive at this point. So she goes to see her in her house. She tells her again, please come back. You know what I'm saying? Just do the right thing. We need you. Wentworth fucking needs you. And so she's like, I'll come back under one condition. Will stays on as governor. And that's it. If he's not the governor, I'm not fucking coming back. So Anne is, you know, huffing and puffing about the shit, but the bitch agrees. So now Vera comes back to work. Mari's walking around the protection unit when all of a sudden, I think she was making herself a cuppa. And when all of a sudden, she hears some shit on the telly. And what is it? It is news of the Attorney General having committed suicide in Walford Correctional Facility. Or Center. I don't know. the attorney general killed himself in prison, all right? So now, you know, her future is up in the air. And so now, one of the most exhilarating scenes that I've ever seen on Wentworth, okay? It was a funny scene, but at the same time, it was like, oh, shit. Lou and Reb are in their unit and they're playing cards. You know what I'm saying? And they're just there having a good time, not knowing that some shit is about to go down. So, what happens? Allie shows up with Boomer, Ruby, and her other people. You know what I mean? Like the other crew members. And she basically tells her, I warned you. No, lies. She tells her, get up. Get up. And Lou is like, eh? What the fuck you mean, get up? Get up who? Get up where? And so, she's like, I'm talking to you, Kelly. So she had the cards in her hand. You know what I'm saying? So she's like, all right. She gets up, like on some, she's like, all right, don't hurt me. She was being a bitch. And if I didn't like Lou Kelly, that would have pissed me off. I would have taken the cards and thrown them in her fucking face. What the fuck is wrong with you, bitch? I said, get up. So she gets up, right? Allie tells her, I warned you. There'd be consequences, right? And then Lou looks at Boomer and she's like, you fucking baby. Because she knew that Boomer told. You know what I'm saying? It's like tattletale. And then all of a sudden the henchmen, they grab her up and they pin her down onto the table. And they hand over to Allie some chicken shears. Oh my God. Chicken shears. To cut bones. So Allie is talking her shit. I warned you there would be consequences. Fingers Kelly. That's what they call you. Well, it'd be real funny if you lost one of yours, right? And then Lou tells her, yeah, it'd be fucking hilarious, bitch, right? And so basically Lou is telling her, listen, nobody believes you. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to need for you to put some more bass in your voice. So Allie tells her some other shit, and she was like, yeah, that was better. Or whatever. And then she tells her the famous line, listen, bitch. You're not top dog material. You're just a big pair of lips with eyelashes. And in that moment, Allie cuts her finger off. She cuts her pinky finger off. Ay, mi madre. This one right here, the left hand. She cuts the pinky finger off of her left hand, and Lou is left screaming. But her scream, even that, sounded sexy. Oh, God. So that she cuts off her finger, man, and that was it. That was it. And then the last scene that we see is Joan at the mailbox, getting her mail. You know what I'm saying? And the mail is 2 passports. One for her, one for baby Grace. All right? And if we look at Joan's passport, guess what? That's my birthday. August 24th. We share the same birthday. Even though technically it's not Joan Ferguson's birthday, it's Kath Maxwell's birthday. But my birthday is in Wentworth. And I thought that was so special. So that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? We've got the ending credits. All right, world. That was it. That was my review of episode 1. It was exhilarating. It left me wanting more. I was just like, oh my God, this season is going to be so fucking good. But if you want to see more of these season 8 episode review videos, let me know and I'll make more. I just wanted to talk about the first one because in the first one we're introduced to the love of my life, Lou Kelly, okay, and the love of her life, Reb Keane. Whatever, it's whatever. I'm not bitter. All right, world, that's it. I've got nothing left. You already know what to do. If you liked the video, then give it a thumbs up. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what the people do. Subscribe to my shit, and click the notification bell, because if you like this video, you're gonna want to see the next video. And if you don't click that notification bell, then like the YouTube people might not know. Bye.